Thank you for joining in. We're going to begin just seated and whatever feels comfortable for your leg. Notice what it feels like to sit on the floor, whether it feels a little awkward in your spine. Maybe it feels fine. We're going to start to make little movements, sort of taking the rib around the pelvis. And you can start off quite small with these movements. As you warm up, you might exaggerate the movement. But notice here the suppleness of your spine, your core. Enjoying that feeling of suppleness. In the other direction. And as you're moving, notice to your breathing. The nourishment of your body from the breath and the movement. Good, and then back to center. So focus on that satisfying breath. And we're going to just start to sway a little bit from side to side. Lead the movement from side to side with your rib, your side rib. And let your upper body sway along. Again, look for the suppleness of your movement. That feeling of ease, of being able to tune in to your body. Tuning into the breath. Good. Now we're going to reach a bit further. I'm going to put my right hand down on the floor and reach my left arm overhead. Good. And then coming back up and change sides. So I've got my left hand on the floor and my right arm over. You might find you have to deepen the breath as you start to stretch around the diaphragm, the rib. And as you reach to the side, try to keep the heart shining upwards. Nice work. Back to center. And we're going to come into all fours. Stretching your fingers out wide, even spaces. Press your fingerprints. A little bit of a bend in the elbows. Tuck your toes under. We're going to rock back and forward. As you rock back, exhaling. As you rock forward, inhale. And again, you can start off with a small movement. You don't have to exaggerate it from the top there. Whatever feels right for your body. Finding that flow of breath, flow of movement. And if you're feeling a little bit stronger now, you might start to exaggerate the movement, tuck the toes under a little bit more. Maybe you ought to press back a little bit more or bring the chest forward through the arms, even dropping the hips. Keep the weight in the fingerprints. Stay focused on the supple movement of your body. And if there's some awkwardness to it, and on the breath. Nice work. Back up into all fours. Relax your feet. Walk the knees together. Take the right leg up behind you, and we're going to take the sole of the foot up. Good, and look up. And as you exhale, tuck your knee towards your nose towards your knee. And keep going on that side. Good, and then second side, left leg lifts up, sole of the foot lifts up, the leg is bent, look up. As you exhale, knee to the nose. Keep the weight in the fingerprint. Keep the hips level to the floor here. Inhaling to lift your head and lift your foot. And exhaling to meet the knee to the nose, or in that direction. Good, and then releasing. Take your knees out wide, forward, Virasana. Good. As you inhale, lift your head, look up, draw the shoulder blades back. And as you exhale, lift your tummy to your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Good. Inhale, lift your head, look forward. And as you exhale, lift your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Keep going. Look forward and hold that movement. Bring the forearms to the floor so your elbows are about shoulder width. Walk the knees back a little. And we're going to take the chest towards the front of the legs. Maybe rest your head on the floor. And feel that satisfying breath as you let the bones of your upper back embed forward. The chest broaden, the armpits broaden. Good. And then we're going to lift up onto your hands. Walk your knees forward, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog pose. And we're going to keep the knees a little bit bent, and we're just going to start to rock the shoulders forward and back. Sort of a soft downward facing dog pose plank position. Fingers out wide. Press the fingerprints, the base of the index fingers. As you rock forward, look forward. As you rock back, start to press your heels down to the floor and then lift them as you rock forward. Following the flow of the breath. Good, and then knees to the floor and rest your hands into child's pose. You might like to squeeze your hands into a fist and release, and squeeze and release. Enjoying that satisfaction of the breath, of this resting posture. Mm. Mm. We're going to come back onto all fours. And we're going to step the right knee to the right wrist. Slide your left leg back and look up. Good. And we're going to keep swapping from side to side. So step the right knee back, left knee forward to the left. Slide the right leg back. We're preparing for pigeon pose, but we'll keep doing that with the movement afforded by the breath. I'm keeping my legs parallel. Good. Now, we're going to come back to all fours. Step the right knee to the right wrist, and you can either keep your leg parallel or swing your right foot forward towards the left wrist and then come into pigeon. Preparation. Oh, we're going to walk the hands back, start to lift the belly, lift the breastbone, draw the shoulder blades back, look up. Good. We're going to place the left hand down in the middle of the mat and take the right hand onto the sacrum and turn to the right side. Good. And then releasing that side. So hands back under your shoulders, stepping back. Step the left foot forward to the left wrist. You can keep the leg parallel or swing the left foot forward towards the right wrist. Slide the right. Good. We're going to lift up onto fingertips. Feeling that flow of breath. Noticing where that flow gets a little stuck in the body, maybe from resistance in the body, tightness in the joint. Let the breath feel as easeful as you can. Good. And then put your right hand down in the middle of the mat. We're going to turn the torso to the left side, left hand onto the sacrum. Lift the breath up. Good. And then releasing that sigh. Nice work. Back into all fours. Take the knees out wide. Forward Virasana. Finding the flow of your breath. Walk your torso, your arms around to the left side. Reach with your right hand as far as you can. Keep the sides of the neck long. Good. Reach with your left hand while you're here. Turn your chest to the right. So you start to lift the chest to look up at the ceiling. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and back behind you. We're really turning here to open the chest towards the ceiling. Let's rest your right hand on your sacrum. Keep the neck nice and long. Keep breathing. Good. And then swim that right arm back to meet the left. Turn the torso back towards the floor. Walk the hands around to the center. And then walk the hands around to the right side. Reach with your left arm as far as you can. Good. And then we're going to start to lift the chest as though to look up at the ceiling. Reach with the right arm a little bit more. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling and then reach it behind you. You can just rest it onto your back. Opening the heart. Finding the breath. Lengthening the sides of the neck. The right side of the body. Good. And then swim that arm back to the right and arms back to the center. Forward Virasana. Finding the depth of the breath. Good. Bring the hands shoulder width. Lift up. Tuck your toes under for downward facing dog. Press the heels now. Open the shoulders wide. Good. And take little steps. And we're heading the heels towards the floor to try and find that intense feeling in the legs, the hamstrings, but not in the spine. And walking forward until you run out of room and you need to roll up. And rolling all the way up. And the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Great. Now we're going to step forward and back a little. And if you need the seat of the chair in front of you, position that. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. We're going to keep it nice and easy on the back, but try to get an intense feeling in your back of the leg. And we'll take the left leg back, bending your front leg. Good, lift the breastbone, lift the forward. Good, press the back heel. We're going to rock forward and back a little on the feet, trying to really bend the front leg and then straighten the front leg. Finding that satisfying flow of breath. Good. Bend the front leg and really use the thigh muscles, so squeeze it against the thigh. Bend the back leg so the knee is heading towards the floor. Good. And we're going to bring the arms up by the sides of the torso, palms facing up, and look forward. Good. Interlock the hands behind you. Stretch out through your knuckles. And we're going to try and straighten the legs now. So if you need to release your hands to hold on, of course do that. Otherwise, we're really holding the balance, looking at that intense feeling of trying to straighten the front leg. Feeling the core of the body as a good foundation. Feeling the satisfying breath. Try and lift the knuckles up off your back. Reach the knuckles back. Good. And then releasing. Bring your hands back in front. We're going to step forward and lift up and balance on the right foot. Bring the hands in front of your heart. Good. And you might be able to lift your knee up higher, your left knee, or hold your knee. Good. And then releasing that side. Feet under the hips. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Look up. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Keep it easy for your back. Enjoy that nice strong resistance in your leg. Good. Place your hands so you can step your right foot back. Good. And then we're going to start rocking back and forward a little by bending and trying to straighten the front leg by lifting the back heel and pressing the back heel. to find the balance in your feet, finding your center of gravity. Feel the core of the body holding you nice and stable. Good. Now we're going to bend the front knee and really squeeze the left thigh muscle against the femur. Press the back heel and then bend your back knee towards the floor. We're going to try and hold that position. Take the arms up by your torso, palms up, look forward. Reach the fingertips back. Feel the tops of the shoulders and the sides of the neck lengthen. Good. Bring the palms together that interlock the fingers. Okay, now if you really need to hold on to the floor, do this arm part. Good. And we're going to try and take the knuckles back and lift the hands up and straighten the front leg. Straighten the back. Nice work. Release your hands. We're going to step forward, lift up, and balance onto the left leg. In one smooth movement. Bring either the tiptoes on the floor or the foot off the floor. You lift your knee high if you can, or even hold your knee. Good. And then releasing that side. Feet underneath you. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Easy on your back. Nice big feeling in the legs. Good. Place your hands where you can really lengthen the belly and the chest and lift the breastbone and look forward and draw the shoulder blades back. Try to get your legs a little bit straighter without losing that good length in the front torso. Lift your kneecaps. Pick out that your feet are parallel. So then your legs are parallel, your knees look forward. Just rocking forward and back. Good. Place your hands down. We're going to take the left foot back. Great. This time, a bigger distance front to back. Your back heel might not press down to the floor. Bend your front leg. We're going to take the arms up beside the torso like we did before. Palms up, breastbone forward. And then we're going to lift the torso and swing the arms up by the ears. Virabhadrasana 1. Let's keep the palms facing forward and feel the broadness of the arms. Draw the shoulder blades down. Look up at the ceiling, the sky. Finding that breath. Satisfying breath. As you reach down through your back heel, feel strong in your front leg. Lift the front core of the body. Good. We'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. We're going to step forward and balance onto the right leg. A bit easier stepping forward. You're not coming up from the ground as well. So just notice that. You can have your tiptoes on the floor. You can lift your leg. You can try for your knee. You can even try a foothold if that takes your fancy in your practice. Finding that satisfying breath. Good. And then release that side. Feet under the hip. Parallel. Inhale, arms up, look up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Good. We're going to look forward. Ease the spine. Feel the skin there. Not tight. The length in your belly and chest. Good, and then we'll take the right foot back. So quite a big distance. Keep the feet parallel. Keep the front leg bent. Press the back heel. Good. Bring the arms up again by your torso, palms facing up, breastbone looks forward. Reach the fingertips back and lift the palms. Feel how that lengthens the sides of the neck, the tops of the shoulders. Beautiful. Strong awareness in your legs, the core of your body as you lift your torso. Keep the front leg bent. Lift the arms up by the ears. Palms stay facing forward. You feel that openness of the palms mirrors in the movement of the armpit. We keep that broad feeling. Breathing deeply into the width of the chest, the width of the armpit. And looking up as you lengthen the core. Pressing the legs. Good. Bring the hands in front of the heart. We're going to step forward and balance on the left leg. You can lift your right leg, taking whatever hold seems to work best. Finding your balance. Good. And then releasing. Feet underneath the hips. We're going to take the arms up now by the ears, palms facing forward. Good. Feel that broadness in the armpits. Reach the arms back. And we're going to face the palms against the back of the pelvis. Elbows in, elbows back. Lift the front of the thighs, lift the front of the hips, lift the belly, lift the breastbone, and look up. Preparation for Ustrasana, or camel pose. Really lift in the front of the legs. Squeeze the buttock muscles and notice how that adds extra support. Breathe. Good, and then release. We're going to do our gentle forward bend, keeping it easy in the back. The skin of the back, soft and relaxed. Look for resistance in the legs, either by reaching the torso further forward, straightening the legs a little more, body weight forward. Finding that satisfying breath. Good. And then inhale and roll up. Bring the arms up by the ears again, palms facing forward. Just feel how that mirrors in the openness of the armpit. Good. Shoulder blades down. Nice. Sweep the arms back behind you again. Keep the palms facing forward. And when you bend your elbows, you're going to place your palms on the back of the pelvis for that Ustrasana preparation. Elbows in, elbows down. Good. Lift the front of the thighs. Lift the front of the hips. Squeeze the buttock muscles towards each other. Lift the belly. Lift the breastbone and look up. Beautiful. Release. Come back into your easy forward bend, where you keep the skin over the spine nice and relaxed. You can find a big feeling in your leg, whatever feels suitable. Head relaxed, neck relaxed. Enjoying the flow of the breath. Good, and we're going to sit down from here. So you're going to do that whatever way feels economical of your movement. You might try to do your sitting without using your hands. Mm. Legs out in front. Mm. Sitting up onto a blanket. We're going to try and get right onto the front of the sit bone. So just wriggle your spine around. Try to get your hips rolling a little, rolling forward until you have that sense of being on the front of the sit bone. Hands behind you. And again, we're looking for that nice, easy feeling of the skin over the spine, so it doesn't feel taut or tight, not in the lower back, not in the middle back, not over the neck. Good, so wriggle around a little, finding that deep and satisfying breath. Good, now we're going to press the back of the legs down really firmly, unless that hurts your knees, in which case you could put a folded up towel underneath your knee. And then you can still use your muscles to press without hurting. Good. Now, whatever way feels like it's best to keep your spine supple and mobile, we're going to try and ease the torso forward over the leg. So even waving a little bit from side to side might feel good. Maybe some spinal waves forward and back. Whatever feels like it's a nice, encouraging movement for your body. We're trying to keep our weight on the front of the sit bones and encouraging a suppleness in the spine as we start to reach forward. If you find you've got some forward movement, you can take your hands forward or keep them behind you. Good. Find a position to hold now. We're going to come to center and be still. Close your eyes, find your breath. And as you inhale, see if you can lengthen your belly a little bit more, lift the chest, the breastbone a little bit more. And as you exhale, try and embed the bones of the spine forward. Explore each breath, noticing the resistance in your body, what feels difficult or challenging about the posture. Find the nourishing breath, looking for a little more ease each exhalation. Releasing, rolling on. We're going to lay down now, and you're going to put the blanket underneath your tailbone for bamboo pose. The key to this posture is when you bring your legs in, they should feel like they're just balancing there, that it's not a struggle for you to hold them, not a struggle in your back or your belly. And so if they just balance comfortably, you can take them up to straight. Now, sometimes adjusting the blanket makes it a better feeling of just balancing. You might make the blanket thicker. Maybe it works better to move it higher towards your waist or whatever works. And if nothing works and you're struggling in your back or your belly, just have the blanket comfortingly there under your tailbone, but put your feet on the floor. And otherwise, we're in bamboo pose. Now, arms might be straight out from your shoulders. You can have them softly bent overhead if you like. I personally like cactus arms, elbows straight out from the shoulders, back of the hands towards the floor. That arm position has the most resistance for me to explore, and I'm not in pain. So I like discovering why there's a tightness and a difference in the shoulders. So you might have a different reason to choose a different arm position. And whatever you've chosen, finding your breath. Even discerning feeling of the breath in and out through the nostrils. Temperature. Humidity. Difference between the in-breath and the out-breath. Good, and then gently bending in your legs and your arms. Taking the blanket out to the side. We're going to pick up both feet off the floor and put your left heel on your right knee for the poetically named through the hole pose. So the idea is you thread your left hand through the triangular hole underneath your left leg there and try to hold the front of the right knee. Now I know that doesn't work for everybody's arm and leg length. So what we're trying to do is bring that left leg in closer to the front of the chest. So however you might be able to manage that. And just keep your right knee attached to the left heel. Feel how the back is broad and the belly is relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And we keep moving the leg in the direction of the chest, but a sense of the left knee moving away from the left shoulder. Good, and then releasing that soft. And right knee, right heel, left knee. Yeah, the other side. If you can, right hand through that triangular hole under the right knee, holding your left knee, or hold where it makes sense for your body. Trying to bring the legs closer to the chest. But just having in your body that feeling that the right knee could move away from the right shoulder. Feeling that satisfying. Good, and then release. Put your feet back down on the floor. Inside edges of the feet together, knees together, arms out wide. Good. We're going to lift the hips, swing them right, and knees to the left. Looking over your line. Lift your knees and your feet just off the floor. Hover them. Feel the core awareness. And using that core awareness, we'll lift the legs back up to center. Lift the hips, swing them left, and knees go right. And then using your core awareness to hover the feet and the knees just off the floor, without tensing the neck or the upper body. And then lifting the legs up to center. Good. Hug the knees in, rock a little from side to side. Beautiful. And from here, you could lay your legs out for your own shavasana. Namaste. Or if you need to finish your practice, rolling up. Hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.